Whoa, 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 whoa! Hold up a sec. YouTube is telling me that 79.1% of yous that are watching my videos aren't even subscribed. What type of sorcery is this? Drag that Stuart Little looking ass across the screen and hit the subscribe button. Take care, see you in the video.
Hello there.
You Star Trek fans are absolutely amazing. The like ratio on the first two videos is 100% at the moment. No dislikes. One person is going to ruin that, but we are yet again going to space, ladies and gentlemen. I am already in space because I'm in my third or fourth listen right now of Travis Scott's new album, Utopia, and I'm on another plane at the moment. So this reaction is going to be taken to another plane as well. So what's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 23-year-old law and film student from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby, and I am watching Star Trek, the original series, for the first time. We are up to episode 3 now, if you discount the pilot, the cage episode. Episode 3, titled Where No Man Has Gone Before. Now, apparently, I've been reading all the comments. I read every comment. I do not care. I read every comment. Apparently, this is actually the first original episode that was aired. But I'm just watching him in the order that Netflix has him in Australia here. I'm just watching him in that order, so sorry about that, guys. Hopefully, it corrects itself eventually. But this is the order I'm watching him at the moment. So it is what it is, but like, this is the order I am watching him, and it's the only way it's accessible at the moment because I have a Netflix subscription here in Australia. But yeah, I do know that the effects were remastered as well, so I'm watching that version. Whereas the pilot, the cage episode, actually had the OG 60s effects, but the rest are remastered. But I'm still watching the show through the lens of me watching it for the first time in the 60s, because I could do a normal modern day take and be like, oh, these effects are trash. This looks fake. This looks like paper mache, and this is corny and everything looks so cheap and the effects are trash. But no, I'm watching it through the lens of seeing it for the first time in the 60s because I'm respecting the material that way, and I hope you guys respect that as well, because I like to analyze everything from a film aspect. And if anything, from so far, from what I'm judging from the show, it's really well, fantastically filmed and acted at the same time. So yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the reactions, and yeah, let's get right into it. Where No Man Has Gone Before, Star Trek, the original series reaction, episode 4 on Netflix, or episode 3 of the original series. Let's go.
Your move, Captain. You should have intercepted by now. Bird said they'd call.
I can tell how this is the first episode ever aired from what you guys have been saying in the comments as well. Your comments are absolutely fantastic about the costuming being more loose, and not as tight and clean, and different shades of yellow as well with the costuming, and Spock obviously not being in blue because I feel like he hasn't been made number 1 yet. And obviously the 3D chess being here as the camera zooms out from the screen. And it's a typical first episode in terms of a distress signal and things like that. And it kind of reminded me of Alien straight away, even though it came out after. But
Well,
yeah.
you checkmated. Your next move. I ever mentioned you play a very irritating game of chess, Mr. Spock? Irritating? Ah, yes. One of your Earth emotions.
Damn.
Certain you don't know what irritation is?
Damn. Spock lost in Charlie X as
One of
well.
my ancestors married a human female.
Oh, he hasn't lost
having
yet.
bad blood like that.
Bridge to briefing lounge.
To seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go.
It makes sense this would also be the first episode ever because the title, Where No Man Has Gone Before, is such a great introductory episode title.
Well, you finished the game.
Yeah. He played most illogically. His next move should have been the rook.
Yeah,
We hope to
learn from the recorder what the Valiant was doing here and what destroyed the vessel. We'll move out into our probe as soon as we have those answers. All decks, stand by.
Department head, sir, you wanted everybody on the bridge before we left the galaxy.
the costumes kind of reminded me of Sunday League football, where the team or one of the team captains just has all the jerseys and he's just chucking them out to rent. You just get whatever jersey you want. You're a small, you're wearing a double XL today, okay? It's just like, they're not fitted, right? And I'm just like, I know, but like, it's just because of the episode, like sort of the order of episodes and the way they're in, but it will correct itself eventually. But what I've noticed as well is that in this episode, I'm not sure if the remaster, especially in the episode Charlie X, which I watched a couple of days ago, That episode was vibrant as hell. It was beautiful. You can tell, like I've said this already, they spared no expense with the color. Like they were making sure that you were experiencing color for the first time, and they're like, we are inserting every color known to man in these episodes. But in this episode, I'm not sure if it's like the remaster that added more vibrancy, or if it's just specifically this episode. But this episode is not as vibrant as Charlie X. Now I wonder if they corrected it as the show went on, because this was the first episode. But a lot of the colors here, even though it's still colorful, they're a bit more washed and drained, if that makes sense. Like they're not as vibrant and they don't stand out as much as the Charlie X episode, even in the production design, not only the costuming but the production design itself.
Name's Smith, sir.
Contact in 12 seconds.
So I'm guessing that's the remastered shot right there. I wonder how that would have looked like in the 60s, or if there was a shot like that in the 60s. If the 60s just had the sort of projector screen only.
Any radiation or anything? Negative! Alpha, take us out of here.
Yo.
Captain's log, stardate 1312.9. Earth bases, which were only days away, are now years in the distance.
Crazy. Crazy how
Our
space and time
overriding
works.
question
Scary.
now is, what destroyed the Valiant? They lived through the barrier just as we have. What happened to them after that? I'm going to ask Dr. Dana to keep you under observation for a while.
With almost 100 women on board, you can do better than that, friend Captain.
Consider it a challenge.
That doesn't seem very friendly. Didn't I say you'd better be good to me?
Alright. Too fast, too furious him. Ejectocito, cuz. That's it. Eject him out of the vacuum. Into the vacuum of space. That's it. Nah, I like how in that scene right there, you could hear the subtle, like, sort of heartbeat or, like, beep sound. They established it before when you're looking at sort of, like, one of the meters, or, like, I think it was, like, the radiation meter or one of them. And it had that sort of, like, heartbeat beep sound. And it was subtle throughout the conversation right there. I don't know if that's sort of meant to signify that there's danger coming, or this is, like, a very suspicious, eerie scene right here of this individual. He's clouded in mystery. What did that electric discharge or shock do to him? But yeah, it was subtle in the background throughout the entire conversation, and it just had me thinking about it the entire time. Yeah, this guy got photographic memory or something. He's scanning everything in like a second. Sorry, that meter right there, the respiration meter.
Perfect.
That's the one.
Perfect. Hey, watch this, Doc.
I got turned into Bugs Bunny right there. Hey, what's up, Doc?
Stop it. Stop it. You were dead for almost 22 seconds. There were no readings at all. Sorry I'm late. I became so interested in observing Gary. Mr. Mitchell.
Our subject is not Gary Mitchell. Our concern is rather what he is mutating into.
Thank you, Spock. Thank
You
you.
know those from your planet aren't supposed to have feelings like we do, Mr. Spock. But to talk that way about a man you've worked next to for years is worse than
That's enough, Doctor.
I don't think so.
It is my duty, whether pleasant or unpleasant, to listen to the reports, observations, even speculations on any subject that might affect the safety of this vessel. And it's my science officer's duty to see that I'm provided with that.
We don't let emotional feelings get in the way.
Have you noted evidence of unusual powers?
He can control certain autonomic reflexes. He reads very fast.
As if the ship and crew were almost a toy for his amusement.
Are they right, Doctor? Has he shown abilities of such magnitude?
I saw some such indications.
And you didn't think it worth mentioning?
No one's been hurt, have they? Don't you understand? A mutated superior man could also be a wonderful thing.
See, that's how it all starts. That's how it all starts. No one's been hurt. It's okay. And then you end up on a situation with like an alien movie, or then you get that movie, you know that movie called Life, when they're toying with that new life they found and the thing ends up being a freaking thing that goes into people's mouth and kills each other. This is how these things all begin. This is how we get horror movies. This is how we get entertained and people die. We think, yeah, it's all good at the time. He's showing no symptoms. He's fine. And then someone thinks, you know, it could be extraordinary. And then that person who thinks it's extraordinary ends up getting killed by their own sort of like love for this creation. We'll see. I haven't seen it in any other episodes, so
a new and better kind of human being.
there we go. There we go. There's always that one individual that thinks it's like the next evolution for mankind. They end up biting the bullet, so we shall see. You guys are laughing at the moment, so.
The station is fully automated. There's not a soul on the whole planet. Even the ore ships call only once every 20 years.
And you have one other choice.
Love the long takes. Love
Kill
it.
Mitchell while you still can. The captain of the Valiant probably felt the same way. And he waited too long to make his decision. I think we've both guessed that.
Set course for Delta Vega.
Hey, sometimes as the captain, you gotta make the harsh decisions. That was a beautiful one-take shot right there.
Stardate 1313.1.
I really dig the long takes in this show. In fact, like the emphasis of long shakes. In fact, the emphasis on long takes in all this older material I've been watching recently is absolutely fantastic. I feel like it's a dime a dozen these days in film. You don't get many long takes or one take sort of scenes of conversation. Very rarely. And when I do see it, I really appreciate it because it's a testament as well to the directing in terms of like planning out a scene, where the actors are going to be situated in that scene, where they're standing, their positioning, how it's going to be framed, and also the actors delivering their lines to perfection, and also not only delivering them in a plain and boring way, but acting out the scene as they're delivering them. Delivering them. You're paying attention to like the mannerisms to their face, the change in like vocal inflections and everything, and how they're maneuvering in the scene. It's absolutely fantastic. And that scene right there with Spock and Kirk was really great. It's sort of like a one-take scene of everyone exiting in the room, and then obviously Kirk placing himself leaning over on sort of like the pillar there, and Spock in the right-hand side over his shoulder in frame as well and in focus, and they'll both conversing one another. And then you had in one take as well the scene sort of transitioning as Kirk obviously moves off the wall and then starts talking, and then it moves to a close-up of his face. It's really great stuff. In all these older materials I've been watching lately, great emphasis on long takes, and I absolutely adore it.
We're now approaching Delta Vega. Course set for a standard orbit. And if we're successful, maroon him there.
This is gonna be interesting. So many very similar ideas in the episodes. Like even Charlie X had a similar individual aboard the ship who could use telekinesis, I think.
It's like a man who has been blind all of his life, suddenly being given sight. Kill me. Well, you can.
It's great stuff.
Stop it, Gary.
Now he has force lightning.
I also know
Great.
we're orbiting Delta Vega, Jim. I can't let you force me down there. I mean, I want to leave the ship, not yet. I may want another place. I'm not sure yet just what kind of a world I can use.
It makes you think what entity has possessed him, or
I
like,
don't understand it all yet.
given him his powers.
If
Obviously,
I keep growing, getting stronger.
they went through this nebula, but
Were the things I could do, like maybe a god could do.
I want him unconscious for a while.
They used a similar. I think they used the similar sort of prison cell and ray shield right there in the Charlie X episode, but Charlie was able to get through it.
Jim.
His eyes went back to normal.
Fighting the force field drained his strength. For a while, at least. He could be handled now.
About that.
I just keep getting stronger. You know that, don't you?
Almost like a godlike being now.
Mitchell, whatever he's become, keeps changing.
He's evolving,
growing
man.
stronger by the minute.
He's been like that for hours now.
Have Dr. Piper meet us in the control room with Kelso. We'll all transport up together.
If he should try to stop us.
Kelso will be on the
That doctor
destruct
is sus
button
as well.
until
Get both of
last
them off.
I think he knows that.
I'm staying behind with him.
Yeah, he hypnotizing her like Biggie Smalls, baby.
Now, fission chamber 3 checks out. Station seems to be running fine.
You're a talented thief, Kelso. Everything
He's
you
becoming
set
one with
up
the
seems
ship.
to be fitting in
He's
place.
manipulating everything.
I'm kind of proud of the job we've done. Are we going to be ready to transform out?
And the body count each episode I've seen in Star Trek has been monumental. So many members of the crew are just so expendable each episode. One of us. One of us. One of us. I mean, she also got shocked in the beginning of the episode as well, but I don't think to the full extent of Gary. So maybe she took a while to develop, or he was able to control her because of that. Interesting, we had mention of the planet during the episode, but I didn't think we'd visit it this late.
Well, then I shall make one.
Well, this guy's God. He's Ego from, is it Ego or Igor? From Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Kurt Russell's character, damn. I wonder if this is sort of like a
So
nod
share this feeling, Elizabeth.
to Adam and Eve,
Feel like God, who have the power to make the world anything you want it to
with
be.
man and woman here in the garden. I really appreciate the set design.
You'll enjoy being a god, Elizabeth. You cannot see me, I'm not there. You follow the right path, James.
Oh, this is
You'll come to me
overpowered,
soon.
man.
I can see him in my mind, too. Yes, it just took a little longer for it to happen to me.
You know the ugly, savage things we all keep buried that none of us dare expose, but he'll dare. Who's to stop him? He doesn't need to care. Be a psychiatrist for 1 minute longer.
Just a quick observation with the title of the episode, where no man has gone before. I think it probably has like a double meaning, in my opinion, from how I see it. Obviously, if this was a first episode of a series, you're sitting down in the 60s titled Star Trek, Where No Man Has Gone Before, and you're watching a series about space exploration, and you're seeing these individuals acquire. So it's not only like Where No Man Has Gone Before in terms of space exploration and visiting other planets and having spaceships and exploring the galaxy and things like that, and concepts of time, light years away, and things like that. I feel like it's also where no man has gone before in terms of like visiting or acquiring these sort of godlike powers. But I feel like at the same time, if you see it in from a biblical standpoint, me being an individual who is religious, like, if you don't accept that, like, that's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm just saying it from my standpoint here, where no man has gone before. If you look at like sort of like the Adam and Eve story, man has sort of seen that power of God early on. You know, from the book of Genesis, you saw they had that interaction with God. But here, sort of like in this episode, the roles are reversed. So it's like sort of like where no man has gone before in terms of like acquiring godlike capabilities as well, and seeing that whether humanity remains in those individuals who acquire godlike powers. And we're seeing it with Gary Mitchell. He was talking about compassion and laughing about it because that humanity is lost now. And we as humans, we, I guess, pride ourselves, or it's what makes us so unique. We have those sort of emotions of compassion and things like that, like Kirk was saying. Yeah.
What do you see happening to him?
I probably rambled too much
What's
there.
your prognosis, Doctor? Hang on to being a human for 1 minute longer.
I'm disappointed in you, Elizabeth.
Zap his ass!
He deserves a decent burial at least. Pray that you die easily.
Come on, Elizabeth. We need you to come up clutch here. I think Kirk might survive this. Like, there's probably
One
3 seasons of
jealous
this.
God. If all this makes a God, or does it make you something else?
One last chance, Kirk.
Right. Absolute power corrupting absolutely.
Chuck the boulder on his ass. Oh, are they just taking turns zapping each other here? Because, like, where's the defense here? There's no defense. This is all out attack. Just going back and forth.
You haven't much time.
Now, zap his ass. Ooh, jiu-jitsu hip throw right there. Should have picked up the gun, not jumped on him. Or the phaser.
Gary, forgive me.
Uh-oh.
For a moment, James. But your moment is fading.
Where have I seen that in the film, that someone was going to kill someone with the boulder and he put it over his head like that? I've seen that before. I don't know, that's stuck in my head right now. There's a movie I've seen where someone's carrying like a rock or boulder and is about to hit someone with it. Unless I'm mistaking it for the Scream franchising. The Scream franchise, sorry.
Be almost a God.
Surely that did not kill Gary right there. Surely.
Come in.
Oh no, they both died, I'm guessing. Maybe we get a post-credit scene. Gary
log.
comes back.
Stardate 1313.8. Add to official losses, Dr. Elizabeth Dana. Be it noted she gave her life in performance of her duty.
And that's how we get McCoy.
I felt for him, too.
I believe there's some hope for you after all, Mr. Spock.
Hey, that was a pretty good episode again of Star Trek. If that was the first episode ever aired, that's actually pretty solid for a first episode. Now, if I'm seeing it through the lens of it being the first episode ever aired, obviously it's vastly different in terms of its like color scheme and costuming from the Charlie X episode and the other one. What was it titled again? What was the other one titled? I believe. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, The Man Trap. But you can see how like they were sort of like testing the waters with this episode, and some of the dialogue during the episode indicated that, you know, they hinted at sort of other planets, other stations, friendships that have lasted for 15 years, sort of how they sort of came to be on the Enterprise and things like that. It very much felt like an introductory episode, and they saved sort of like the planet exploration to the last final 10 to 15 minutes where Kirk went down to interact or sort of confront Gary and Elizabeth. So yeah, I can see how this was sort of like a very first episode, whereas the Man Trap sort of began earlier on. in space, where they went down straight away to another planet, whereas this episode sort of took its time. It was sort of dealing with space exploration earlier on. The stress signal entered a nebula or some sort of void, and that's how he got his powers, or sort of got his godlike abilities. And it sort of shrouds this episode again, which is what this series is doing a lot, in mystery. You don't learn much about where these individuals got these powers, like what happened to the other ship, what really happened to the other ship. You sort of get an indication, but did the other ship sort of get godlike powers as well? Are those godlike individuals still out there? There's a lot of mystery, and I guess that's left intentional for the audience, because it's space exploration, it's other planets, everything is going to be shrouded in mystery. The crew is just as confused as we are sometimes, and I guess that sort of mystery is intentional, in my opinion. I'm not articulating myself here well, but I feel like it all goes hand in hand with sort of that space exploration, that element of the unknown, but yet at the same time we're exploring the human condition as well. What it's like to be a god, and what it's like to be human, and what makes us unique, and things like that. So yeah, a solid episode of Star Trek yet again. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. As always, been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.